will start our single-family design board meeting for July 14th. Start with roll call.
Thank you. I'll proceed with roll call. Chair Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sherry,
Yes.
Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Board Member Mosley,
Yes.
Board Member Richards.
Yes.
We have quorum. Thank you.
Okay, next we have general public comment. This is for any item not on the agenda.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. I'll start with in-person public comment. At this time, I do not have any slips for general public comment, and if anyone wishes to make a comment, they may fill one out and bring it to me. I see no one in the audience moving to do so, so we will move on next to virtual comment. And at this time, I see no hands raised for virtual general public comment, and we did not receive any written correspondence. So at that, I'll turn it back over to you, Chair Lewis.
Okay, next is approval of the minutes from the full board meeting on June 30th. I submitted a few minor just typos, but otherwise I didn't have any big modifications, but we'll look through them if anyone has any other comments.
Chair Lewis, item 2, comment 3, was it part of your
Let's see, comment 3, the board supports location roof deck.
item 3, like the end of the sentence? Privacy of the, was it part of your?
But would want to know the effects of privacy. Thanks. I'm trying to remember which ones. Is that what you're saying?
It's like, see, like privacy to be neighbors to be considered? Of the neighbors.
Of the neighbors, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Just that. I didn't
Effects
see anything else.
of the, maybe for the neighbors?
Yes.
Effects of privacy for something, I don't know, there you go, okay. Okay, great. Okay. If there aren't any other comments, then I'll move to approve the minutes from the full board meeting on June 30th.
I second that.
Okay, we'll take a vote. Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
Board Member Mosley,
Yes.
Chair Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sherry.
Abstain. I had a project on that agenda.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay, next is approval of the minutes from the consent meeting on June 30th.
Keep going. You go down to the bottom of the page. Okay. I move to approve them.
Second?
All right, we will take a vote. Board Member Richards,
Yes.
Board Member Mosley,
Yes.
Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Chair Lewis,
Yes.
Vice Chair Sherry.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next is ratification of the actions taken on the consent calendar for July 7th and July 14th.
Sure. So just for reference, the consent items for ratification were posted on today's full board agenda, so I'm going to be reading from that. For July 7th, item 1, 1637 Mira Mesa Drive was granted project design approval and final approval. And the second item, 405 San Roque Road, was granted project design approval and final approval. For July the 14th, just today, 30 Augusta Lane was granted final approval. Just final approval. Item 2, 628 San Pasqual Street was continued to date certain April 28th for its next hearing. Or July. Thank you. It's a Monday, July 28th. And item 3, 20 Abigail Lane, was granted project design approval and final approval as submitted. And that's the news.
Okay, I'll move to ratify the actions taken at the consent calendar on July 7th and July 14th.
Second.
Okay, we'll take a vote. Board Member Moslehi,
Yes.
Board Member Graffitti,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
Chair Lewis.
Yes.
Vice Chair Sherry.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, next we have announcements, requests for applicants for continuances or withdrawals, future agenda items.
No,
Nothing.
no, nothing.
Great.
Thank you.
Easy. Okay, our first item today is a new item here for concept review. Are you here for the first item?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, and if you'd like me to read the scope of work.
Oh, perfect. Great.
Okay, I'll do that for you.
Save my voice.
Yeah, this one's pretty meaty. Item 1 is here, 1036 San Diego Road, for conceptual review. The 23,177 square foot lot located in the Hillside Design District is currently developed with a 1,168 square foot single unit residence and an attached 132 square foot one-car garage. Proposal to demolish a 213 square foot bedroom and a 307 square foot exterior patio area and construct a 541 square foot first story addition, a 163 square foot two-story addition, and a new two-car carport. The project also includes exterior alterations such as an entry patio and trellis, an exterior rear deck with access stairs, an outdoor shower, retaining walls, and new landscaping. The proposed total of 2,578 square feet of development on a 23,177 square foot lot is 55% of the guideline maximum Florida lot area ratio, FAR. No final appealable decision will take place at this hearing. Staff hearing officer requests comments for project design supportability for an interior setback zoning modification. Neighborhood preservation findings and Hillside Design District and slope block findings will be required when the project is reviewed for project design approval.
Great. Do we have any staff comments before we start?
Yes, just a couple comments. Jillian Fennessy, case planner for this project. Design review is required for this project because the proposed second-story addition is over 17 feet in height. The project is located in the Hillside Design District with a 30% slope. As designed, the new two-car carport encroaches into the 10-foot required interior setback, therefore an interior modification is required. The portion of the carport that is encroaching into the interior setback is about 18 square feet and will be 8 feet away from the property line. So the project is before you today for a concept review to gain initial feedback on the residents as well as weighing in the appropriateness of the design and layout. Your comments will be forwarded to the staff hearing officer for consideration of the interior setback modification. And I'm here for any questions.
Okay, perfect. You'll have 15 minutes to present. If you can make sure your microphone's on, press the push.
Press the push.
There you go.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, Madam Chairman and members. We appreciate your work with us on this. My name is Madi Abu Omar. I'm the owner. I'm pulling a last-minute stop on this. Our designer and architect is Brian Miller, and he came down with COVID yesterday. So I really appreciate your patience with me. I will not take more than 15 minutes. I will take 10 minutes, and I'm happy to answer your questions. I'm very familiar with the project, and it's a delight to be here. Maybe you don't hear that too often, but here we are. So I prepared my own presentation, which turns out to be, I follow your computer and it's spot on. This is the aerial view of our property, 1036 San Diego Road. You see my arrow. This is our humble home. It's a very small home on a decent sized lot. This is away from any public view, away from any street, so this is not facing public view. Nevertheless, this was built in 1922, gorgeous, beautiful, colonial Spanish that you will see the theme throughout this. We're gonna maintain everything to the T with this original, beautiful design. This is the street. We're at the end of the street where our neighbor here is at the end of the street. You come up this driveway to get to our house. The entrance is facing east, so the entrance is here. There's a one-car garage over here, and the carport that was spoken of by Jillian would be right over here, a proposed carport, and that's where this zoning request of going by 2 feet, I think, over. In the other areas, we provided drawings showing all the details. This is showing you this is the hillside. Sorry, I'm used to PowerPoint, so this is challenging a little bit for me because it's
It's a touch
PDF.
screen.
Yeah,
too.
and also through the chair
Is
to
it
the
touch?
applicant.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
touch
It's
and there's a
touchscreen,
mouse,
and there's
so
a mouse.
there's-
Okay,
there
that's
on the right,
brilliant.
yeah.
Okay, the touch screen solved all the problems. Very appreciated, Doc. So this is the hillside, and I'm sliding, and now this is the house. This is the carport, and this is right here. You see the 10-foot. So this is the carport. This is the front entrance facing east. We're not really doing big things there, but just beautifying, and I'll show you the pictures, how you enter the house. This is the proposed addition, and you'll see that we will demolish an existing one-bedroom, and there is a patio here that's really not heavily used, and this is where we would build a 500 some change square feet, and then on top we're going to have beautiful staircase here, and you'll see the design, and on the second story we're going to have a primary bedroom with a bathroom, and that's going to be about 163 square feet. And again, I don't get my numbers perfect, and I'll explain that later. So the green is the addition, as well as this carport, and then modifications here to the front. And then we propose to do some landscaping down here, and including a fence and finishing a retaining wall that's only 30 inches in height. And I will cover all of that as well. This is, I think, the bottom line pictures. So this is where the addition is going to happen, facing west. This is the existing picture. You see this patio right here, the stairs up to this patio, and this is the bedroom that will be demolished. That's the existing structure. This is now the proposed structure. We would have the first story built, and then the second story. This is the staircase now. Everything designed to the T. Brian has done a tremendous job keeping everything to the same design. We would keep the colonial Spanish with the red roofing, and this is now the balcony to the primary bedroom, or the second story. Very elegant design with the stairs to get up to, this would be basically the dining room, or the exit from the dining room. This is the front of the house as you enter up the driveway. I told you we have these two sets of staircases to the door. This is our door facing east. So this is the current footprint of the house. This is what it would look like. We're proposing, again, this is really, Brian came up with this. We didn't have it in mind at the beginning, but thinking, how can we have everything match so it would really have a beautiful appeal and more welcoming entrance. And now notice here and here is all existing, will not be touched. And now this is the second story addition, and now this is the staircase that I've been talking about. Just to complete this, this is now, as you come up the driveway, these are the stairs to enter the house on the east side. So this is the south side. This is the one-car garage. Obviously, this is a very old house, only with one-car garage. But we have a lot of space here, and we thought no need to really change this beautiful picturesque. So the best solution was a carport, and this is really the best place to fit the carport. Now, this is what the second story would look like from this side. So now this would be the new look without the carport, with the carport addition. And now finally, the north side, this is now the current structure. Everything stays the same, and now we have the staircase that I talked about, and this is just, I have to be personal here. My oldest brother lives in Spain, and this is just beautiful. This is just absolutely beautiful. You see this in some of the structures and the homes in Spain, and Brian did a great job. So I think this covers everything that I wanted to cover about the building and the additions, and I just wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about the landscaping. Again, this is the existing house, and as you see, this is our coming up our driveway. That's the entrance. Now this is the west-facing side, and this is the hillside. And what we would like to do is do some landscaping down here. This is the parking lot for the ball, and there's fencing on this side, and this is really a privacy and a safety issue. We would have I think what we're proposing here, show you a picture, I guess, would be a cedar fencing on that side. Even though it's not facing a public area or a street, would still, I think, would be beautiful to look at. And then we have this landscaping all along, and then on the side of the property going up this way, we would do fencing, chain link, black fencing like this, and that's what the bowl is using on the other side that's visible from our property. I think this is all I had to say. I really appreciate your patience with me, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, perfect. We will move to public comment.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. I'll start with in-person public comment. At this time, I do not have any slips for this particular item, and I see no one in the audience to comment. So we will move on to virtual attendance. And at this time, I do not have any hands raised for virtual attendance, and we did not receive any written correspondence for this particular project. So at that, I'll turn it back over to you, Chair Lewis.
Okay, great. We will move to questions from the board, and I will start with, in the project description, it mentions an outdoor shower. Can you show us where that's located?
Yes. Give me a minute to locate that. Just 1 second.
And I know where it is.
Okay, I appreciate your.
If you could pull up the site plan, it's, I believe it's by the carport. I don't think it, yeah. On the site plan.
Oh, right
Oh,
over
in the
here.
green zone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I know in one of the drawings, I studied this morning
Yeah.
some of the details drawings.
Yeah, through the chair to the applicant, if you go to sheet number 2, if you type in number 2 in the page numbers,
Great.
that should take you to the site plan. If you scroll down a little bit, yeah, the shower I think is to the left of the home.
By the carport and deck.
Yeah,
Right
around
here.
that area, yeah.
The little
thank you very much.
triangular space. Okay.
I know I saw it in one of the drawings, but
So for the board, it's over here. Okay. Board Member Richards, any questions?
Yeah, are there any trees that are being proposed to be removed as part of this project?
no, sir.
Okay, fantastic. And then does the carport have a solid roof over it, or what is I didn't see the details.
I believe so. The material we talked about, the material.
Yes, it says standing seam metal roof
Yeah.
on your section and elevation. Okay.
Yeah, and that's on page 12 if you want to go to it. Yeah, page 12.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Those are all my
That's it.
questions.
Okay, Board Member Mosley.
I have one question regarding the height, the maximum height at the highest roof pitch. I think I saw it on the best elevation. Is it 25 or can you go to?
Oh, it's just, yeah, page
Elevations.
page 11, I think, has the elevations. There you go.
I think it's 20.
25,
and
4 inch.
Yes,
And
25
wanted-
feet and 4 inches.
Okay, just wanted to confirm that.
And this project is still in their application completeness review, and so that was one of our staff's comments, was to clearly
I
state
noticed
the
that.
height. So that will be within, a resubmittal.
Thank you. And do you know from the conversations with the architect about the design of the railing of that balcony?
Right here. Is that, or up here?
Yes.
Oh,
Maybe
board member Mosley, may you turn on your microphone when you're speaking?
on.
Just a
It's just
reminder.
on.
It is on. Oh,
maybe
okay.
it was not close enough.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Thank you.
The design of the railing, both the stairs and the balcony. I can see some details that it was drawn, but wanted to see about the materiality. Was there any conversation what it will be?
The material, the conversation we had, I have to say that I'm recalling from memory, so we're happy to answer that, for example, more formally. But I know that we talked about doing wood up here, but metal for the staircase.
Okay.
That's, yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you. I think that was my questions.
Okay. Board Member Sherry?
Can you go back to page 2, please, the site plan? And I just want to understand that, confirm that the need for the interior modification is because there's no other way to fit the carport in because of the interior setback kind of snaking around that and going through that driveway. And the best angle, the best location to put the carport and encroach into the setback the least is in the configuration and the angle that you have now. That's
Yes,
Correct,
I
right?
would like to confirm that because this carport ended up taking a lot of time and a lot of measurements of different possibilities.
okay.
And this is the best. The bottom line is, I think Brian answered this to the city in the first letter. It basically ends up involving a lot of slope filling, et cetera, and it would get pretty complicated if we didn't do this. So this was sort of the best possible scenario with the
Got it.
least amount of disruption.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Board Member Graffiti, any questions?
So just to confirm, because you kind of covered, so does it back up into property, like a property line with the Santa Barbara Bowl on the side of the property, or you were talking about parking? Can you go back to that image?
Oh,
Just so I
okay.
have an idea of,
So we're very close to the bowl, but we don't exactly back up to the bowl. To give you an idea, let's go to the aerial image. No, let me go to 16 and let me know I can go back. So here is 16.
oh, got it.
So
Okay.
this is the parking lot for the bowl. This is all bowl property, and yeah.
Got it. That's
Yeah.
helpful, actually.
Yeah, and
I-
we're on top of this sloped hill.
Okay, thank you. And I think everyone else, I think all my other questions are answered. Appreciate that.
Okay. We will move to comments. Board Member Richards, do you want to start? Sure.
I mean, I think it's an attractive project. I think you're trying to locate the carport in the best possible location, given kind of the constraints that you're having to work around. So because of that, I can support the modification.
Okay. Board Member Mosley?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's the best configuration for the carport, so I can support the interior setback mod. And it's a nice project, and it has been developed to the second story cohesively, and I would like to see like more details and like materiality and everything next time.
Absolutely, sure.
Board Member Graffiti?
Yeah, agree. I think as long as the materials and details are all cohesive in the architectural style that's existing, I'm happy to support it. Would also like to see imagery for landscaping and detailing inspiration at the next meeting as well.
Board Member Sherry?
I agree with all the comments. My only concern is the standing seam metal roof on the carport. And I understand you can't see it from anywhere else, so I'm not so concerned about neighbors seeing it, but you're going to see it because you're going to see it from your second level. And it is introducing a different material that is not necessarily in keeping with this style of house. So I would just want you to look at make sure that that's the best and most sensitive material for a carport roof to be in keeping with the Spanish colonial style.
I agree with all the comments from the board. If you go to page 19, I'll show the board, there was a material palette submitted. And so I think that that's helpful, but it also makes me, yeah. And so you might be able to pull from some of your palette when you're considering materials for the carport. I agree that it won't be visible to anyone else, but for your own use, so I think that it will be something that the board recommends, but is maybe not a requirement. And I think it's really charming. So great job with everything. So I'll move to continue this project. Actually, I guess, would the board like to see it to the full board or to consent?
Okay with both. I think as long as you make a comment in there about to study the most appropriate material for the carport roof, and they could then go on to consent, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay, so I'll move to continue this project to the staff hearing officer and then to the consent calendar with the following comments. The board finds the design to be beautiful and appropriate to the style of the existing residence. The board is in support of the modification for the carport, given the site limitations and the scale of the site and neighboring sites provides enough distance to any neighboring structures. The board would like the applicant to study the most appropriate roofing material for the carport that is appropriate to the design of the main residence, and to consider an alternate to the standing seam metal roof. The board would like to see landscape imagery and details for the site work.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we will take a vote. Board Member Richards?
Yes.
Board Member Moslahy?
Yes.
Board Member Gaffidy?
Yes.
Chair Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Chair Sherry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Great.
Great job presenting.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
So the next item we have up is 617 Ferrara Way. It doesn't start until 3:40.
10 minutes.
Yeah, in 10 minutes, but the applicant is not here yet. I think I told them to come at 3:40, so I can see if I can email them, but if we want to recess for
Recess
10
for 10
minutes.
minutes. Okay.
All right, thank you.
are starting back for the Single Family Design Board meeting on July 14th with our second item. Would you like to read?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
We're here for item number 2, 617 Ferrara Way. Proposal for a new 660 square foot second story accessory dwelling unit on an existing 1,545 square foot single story home with an attached 2-car garage. New exterior stairs and balconies are proposed. The total proposed 2,464 square foot home on a 7,834 square foot lot is 49% of the maximum required floor area ratio. No final appealable decision will take place at this hearing. Neighborhood preservation findings will be required when the project is reviewed for project design approval. And I just wanted to give some staff comments here. The reason why this project is here before the board is because the accessory dwelling unit doesn't meet the architectural design criteria for ADUs because it's a second-story garage that's not, or it's a second-story ADU that is not constructed entirely over the garage. I also wanted to provide some background on the FAR. It is 49% FAR without the ADU, so that's what we're seeing in the scope. But with the ADU, which the applicant provided an accurate FAR, you'll see it here in his presentation, it's 70%. So just wanted to provide that clarification. And the difference is that without the ADU, it's 1,545 square feet, and with the ADU, it's 2,205 square feet. So the total square footage in the scope is a little bit off. That was due to staff error in calculations, but just wanted to provide that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You'll have 15 minutes to present. If you can make sure your microphone is on and state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Misael Contreras, and I'll be presenting as agent for the owner. First of all, thank you all for your time, and I am here to present the proposed ADU that is going to be on this as a second floor addition above the garage. And as Sebastian mentioned, it's not entirely above the existing garage footprint. It is about 300 or 250 square feet beyond the garage outline footprint.
Oh, and pardon the interruption through the chair to the applicant. Can you just make sure you're speaking into the microphone so we get it picked up? You can move it as you need to. Thank you.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. Okay, and the area that this is in is on Famodoc. It's right across from the church there, the Emmanuel Church, that is directly across the street from this property, and it's mostly residential area where there are many multi-family apartment-style buildings in the area, and so it's a very eclectic architectural style throughout. So I was also going through the archive drawings and noticed a lot of them had varying roof pitch slopes ranging from 4 and 12 to 6 and 12. So that was the reason why we went with the 6 and 12. We also want to add more volume in the interior of the spaces. And another of the other part of the scope of the project is to change the roof pitch of the existing residence to 6 and 12 to match the ADU. So here you see the area site plan. Nothing's changing on the ground plane as far as solid volumes. We are adding stairs though to get up to the ADU towards the side yard there. Let's see what else. Here are the floor plans, just showing access from a balcony on the south side into a living and up to the one-bedroom ADU unit with a deck facing the street on the north side there. Here are those existing and proposed roof plans with skylights on the east side there. These are the existing elevations and the proposed, and trying to keep with the same aesthetic as the existing house. And here are photos of the surrounding lot as well as the existing house. And here's some 3D renderings just to show what that will look like. And I believe there is also here's the site neighborhood photos to give context of that eclectic style that I was talking about. So this is our subject site, 617 Farrar Way. This is our key. I believe there was another file that had higher quality resolution photos, but this gives a general idea of what we're dealing with pretty much and how we fit into the existing neighborhood. And these are all, in that same vicinity. So, and here's the church across the street. And let's see, I think there's a couple more pictures of that. There's another and another. And here's the FAR study. That shows we're at 70% FAR. And that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you. We will move to public comment.
Thank you, Chair Lewis. I'll start with in-person public comment. At this time, I do not have any slips for this particular project, and I don't see anyone in the audience to make a comment, so we will move on to virtual attendance. And at this time, I do not have any hands raised for virtual comment, and we did not receive any written correspondence for this project. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Chair Lewis.
Okay, we will start with questions from the board. Board Member Richards, do you want to start?
Sure. So the reason for the change in pitch for the roof of the main house from 3.5 to 5 or 6 to 12, that was to gain more volume in some of the spaces?
Right, actually, those requests from the owner to also be able to add more insulation.
Oh, pardon the interruption. If you could use the microphone when you're
sorry.
speaking. Yeah, and you can move it a little bit closer to you too as well. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the owner wants to be able to have access to the attic to be able to add insulation to the house because it's a low pitch, so they feel there's no insulation in the house, so they feel, that heat coming down, so radiating into the interior space, so giving that re-roof pitch will give them that opportunity to add insulation as well.
So, but you are capturing additional interior space in that by lifting that roof, or it's just for installation? And
Just
all
for
the ceilings stay
installation,
the same?
yeah.
Okay. What is the plate height there that we're looking at in that north street elevation? It looks like it's quite low.
Yeah, let me see what I believe we had, let's see, 8-foot plate for the garage standard, and a little lower on where the bathroom side for upstairs, and then 8 foot on the other side. So 17-foot plate on this end gives you a 22'6" total building height.
Okay. And then, is there a reason the house was intentionally, or why you're overstepping the garage and not kind of matching that square footage? It seems a little odd and like it doesn't match the neighborhood.
So yeah, the client wants to first use it as a gym for his kids, and yeah, right now there's if you go to his home, he has working out stuff and punching bags throughout the house. So he wants to just consolidate that into this space, use that as a gym for now, and then leave it as a ADU for future.
And so those overhangs, though, are being held up by, is it wood columns, or what's the detail that you're envisioning for that?
The overhangs.
So it's like, you have the garage, and then you have.
Yes,
your
you're right,
that
columns.
sits over. So those columns are they wood?
Steel columns.
Steel
Yeah.
columns.
Mhm. and wrapped with wood to make it more visually pleasing.
I think that's all my questions.
Okay, Board Member Mosley?
Sorry. One follow-up question to question that Board Member Richards asked. So the plate height at the ground level seems to be 9, is that correct? Or 8?
8 feet.
8 feet, yeah.
And is the existing part of the house that's on our screen now, the right side, the roof pitch is the roof slope is changing to 5 to 12, I think, not 6 to 12.
Oh, correct, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So is it a dropped ceiling now, soffit interior, and it's going to be vaulted ceiling there?
Yeah, it's flat.
Is that
and
the
then-
reason?
Yeah, they want to vault.
So the flat ceiling interior is going to be vaulted ceiling?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the reason. And can you go to this elevation actually shows, are there any, I'm seeing number 5 as a gutter. Is there any downspout on the,
Yes, there will be downspouts on the east and west side of the this facade.
and what's the material proposed for the gutters and downspouts?
It'll be aluminum to match the gutters. Yeah, aluminum.
What's the material for the roof?
Oh, the roof is asphalt composition shingle.
Okay. And you don't have a material palette currently, I believe.
I don't have the material board. I do have the callouts here
Okay.
on A 4.1.
Does it mention the color of the windows as well? Match existing.
match.
What's the existing color of the windows? We can see it from the pictures.
They are white.
Okay. Okay, that was all my questions.
Okay, Board Member Graffiti?
I'm just trying to understand, so for the second story element, is it exceeding the area of the garage on both sides? Or can you go back to the, I don't even know if it's that elevation or floor plan, so I can see the footprint of the second story as compared to the
Yeah, I think on
footprint of the first
A2,
story.
it might be good to look at.
Can we look at all
the-
of them? Yeah.
On drawing 3, if you slide over on A2, drawing 3, and maybe start from there.
Yeah, so this is the footprint dashed here.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay. So, what, did you study, I guess you're just, when this question was asked earlier of why that's happening, was your response just to maximize total floor area on one floor versus adding space to the first story, or thinking of other ways so that the second story isn't feeling so top-heavy in proportion to the first story?
Right, yeah, this was to maximize the floor area above.
On
They-
the same floor?
On the same, yeah, they really want to take advantage of their outdoor space on the ground level for their, for their kids and hosting, parties, but
Okay.
they just wanted to, keep that, maximize that area, like I said, kind of more of like for a gym use, so.
Okay. I think that's it for me.
Okay, Board Member Sherry?
Can I see all four elevations on one sheet for a second, please? Trying to understand the proposed elevations. So what I'm seeing on on the left side of the proposed west elevation is the back staircase way in the back beyond. And the reason I'm seeing that is because there's just a roof over it supported by what, 4x4 columns
Correct.
on both sides. And the reason that the ridge isn't centered is because of the solar.
The solar access, correct, yeah.
Can I
Which-
see a photograph of the
see.
front of the house? Again.
So it's, yeah, it's this right here.
And, okay, no more questions.
Will you go to A7 with the 3D views? So you've got the balcony entrance in the rear, and then also the balcony in the front. Are there views out from the north at the street elevation? Is that where like the views of?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with the pictures because you're down low, but yeah, there's some.
I'm wondering
views
why
in
the
front.
larger front balcony instead of a larger rear balcony.
They feel like they're gonna be able to use the one in the front more and keep it like private, you know, away from the back where you know most of their social gatherings are gonna take place in the back.
To
And-
keep a
and then-
potential resident outside of their views.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready for some comments, so we'll move on. One, if you pull up your neighborhood photos, again, that's not in our set. And the one thing I'd like to point out, so in our guidelines, a second story is guided to be at a minimum in alignment with the story below it or inset. And so what you see there on Mariana Way and Ferrara Way, picture 12, picture 3, and 2, these second stories are in alignment with the architecture, or if you go over to 15 on the far right, it's set back into it. If there's ever an overhang, you know, typically it might create a porch with some kind of weight. And so, you know, right now, even the sort of columns, pilasters-esque on the side of the garage have a little bit of a weight, and same on the front west elevation of the residence, where right now the columns holding up the rest of the overhang on both sides feel too flimsy, but I'm also struggling with the need for it to do that. When I overlay the floor plan of the garage to your floor plan for the ADU, it's still an acceptable ADU size, especially if it's being used as a gym. I think that if there's a way to expand, I'd almost recommend expanding back into the backyard rather than to the sides. I'll maybe start there and then open it up to comments from the board. Board Member Richards or Sherry, do you want to start us?
Yeah, I'll just tag on to that. I agree. I hate it when, or I should say it's always unfortunate when the zoning ordinance drives design. So when something like the solar is driving your offset ridge, I think there's a better way to do it. And I agree with Chair Lewis that there's an appropriate way to do that square footage differently. If you did want to keep the configuration the way it is, there's a way to ground the ADU, that second story element, that is not doing it with 4x4 posts that just look flimsy. And I think just a comment about, I don't know if it's a drafting issue, but there's a line, I think it's supposed to be plaster finish, and there's a line at your floor level that I think maybe isn't supposed to be there, but maybe it is, and if it is, I think that you could look at a better way to do that detailing, which is it's creating like a belly band on the upper level. it's a minor thing. The biggest thing for me is the columns, how the massing is being supported, and I'm not sure raising the roof for insulation is something that's necessary. I think you could research that, because I think you could do the insulation without taking the entire roof off of this house and raising the pitch.
Board Member Graffiti?
Yeah, I agree with what's been said. I think for me, the bigger challenge is when I think about our guidelines, and typically it's recommended for the second story to be brought in, even when it's flush, as in some of these photos where it's the same footprint. We're even encouraged away from that. So feels almost opposite of what our recommendations are. And so I think continuing to study where the square footage lies on the second story, and to my other board members' points, the columns that are supporting it, be my comments.
Okay, I'm going to add a partial one and then keep going, which is that Board Member Sherry mentioned a way to ground the building. I think the way that I would be open to that is if it's grounded on one side, but not having both sides be overhanging. And so if it shifted over and in the inner courtyard created an extended front porch patio, that might be a way. But I don't think overhanging on both sides, it feels like this overarching thing is squatting over your garage. Okay, I'm going to continue this way.
Okay.
Board Member Mosley.
I agree with the comments that was made, and I agree with the last comment that if it's going to be extended more than the boundary of the garage, it might be, the better idea might be towards the interior courtyard of the house, and now it's the part that it's on the, I believe it's the east side, and we have a neighbor on that east side, and the elevation that they're going to look at, the east elevation, it's part of it is because of the slope of the roof now. It's like a huge, the upper part that it's going to be visible. It's going to be a huge solid wall above that window that is proposed. The staircase, and there's a chimney, existing chimney on that side, which is it's existing to the height that it was, and it's kind of like unfinished. It's like something that is remained from the old house, and it doesn't fit with the proposed. So I agree that having it wider than the car garage from both sides, it's making it from the street view as well. It's really top heavy, and it's a street that it's not only residential, and you have a church in front of, so it's like a public use, so it's more visible to the more neighborhood people that are coming to the church as well. And the other thing I noticed on your proposed site plan, I think there's an existing tree, which now your dash line is on it. So I want to clarify that. Is it can we see that tree on one of the images? Is it visible? So if you get clarification on that as well. And I think that was all my comments.
Okay, Board Member Richards.
Yeah, I have to agree with the rest of the board. You know, you're replacing the roof, and the way that this is masked just doesn't feel right. I think you can easily get that amount of use and everything that you're trying to do with that ADU to sit on top of that garage and extend back into the lot. And I think, you know, what you're seeing is that solar access, that guiding you is kind of creating and hopefully highlighting kind of, you know, why you're not trying to do what you're kind of showing there. You know, it's having a compromised 6-foot ceiling over there. That's kind of a red flag on, you know, maybe it should steer you in a different direction. Yeah, I think the columns should be harmonious. I mean, you have the two that are in the front door. I think that those are much better proportion to kind of what you should be looking to match if you are going to have it overhang. Although I personally, I don't see that being an issue. And if you're replacing the roof, you've got ample opportunity to restructure, or move the mass over the center of the house.
Would anyone like to make a motion? Okay, I'll move to continue this project indefinitely to the full board with the following comments. The board recommends the applicant to study the single-family residential design guidelines in regards to the second-story massing. The board does not support having the second-story massing overhang on both sides of the first story. If the applicant continues to have an overhang in one area, it should be appropriately grounded to the first floor, given it some visible weight, whether that be columns that match the consistency of the other columns on the residence. The board would like to further understand the proposal to raise the pitch of the roof. It does not appear necessary for added insulation and adds a larger massing to the residence. The board would like to understand the detailing of the edge of the second story as it meets the first story. The board is having a hard time supporting the offset ridge and recommends looking at other options in meeting the solar ordinance. The board recommends studying the neighborhood and the other two-story additions. Did you say a tree was removed?
The three, I am not sure. This is existing. To clarify.
The applicant to clarify if any existing trees are to be removed and or impacted by the new addition.
I will second that motion.
Under discussion.
Okay.
Would it be okay with the maker of the motion, that instead of the board does not understand the offset ridge, that the board does not support the offset ridge?
Yes, thank you.
And there was a comment you made, I think it was about the understanding of the floor of the second level, but I want to make sure that it's clear to the applicant what we're talking about.
That banding,
Right, so how did you word that again?
the detailing at the bottom of the second story between the second story and the first story.
In particular, it's the exterior detailing that the line of the finished floor should not be accentuated with
On the
a
exterior.
control joint or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because it doesn't, the comment doesn't relate to the exterior. It's somehow I think we should word that differently.
So can you reread us the statement about the detailing at the bottom of the second story?
What I have is that the board would like to understand, well, I just added the word exterior detailing of the edging that meets that meets from the first floor to the second story.
I'd like to add to that, the board does not want to see an articulation of the finished floor line.
Or you could just say, as that comment, it could just say, return with appropriate detailing between floors
There you
on
go.
the exterior.
Okay. The maker of the motion supports that. You can scratch the entire line to say applicant to return with appropriate detail at the
Between floors at
between
the exterior.
floors. Mhm. Does the seconder of the motion support the change?
Yes.
Okay.
Accept the changes.
Thank you.
Okay, we will take a vote. Board Member Graffiti,
Yes.
Board Member Moslahi,
Yes.
Board Member Richards,
Yes.
Chair Lewis,
Yes,
Vice Chair Sherry,
Yes.
motion passes.
thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With that, the Single Family Design Board meeting for July 14th has ended.
All right. Thank you.